felt so fulfilling to be able to do the work that I'm doing, but to be recognized for it is a great honor. Thank you so much. If you would just imagine that each and every one of us would do something small to give back to our frontliners or to our community, imagine the impact we could all make together. When we were first placed under lockdown here in Metro Manila, I think at first it was more just a matter of adjusting to the new circumstances, but I think my anxiety grew because I couldn't help but keep on thinking of all of the Filipino families that live day to day. Like every time that I would sit and have a meal, it was so apparent to me that it's just like, I'm so lucky to be able to do this, to be comfortable in a place, even though I'm separated from my family and life is very different. Like, I'm very, very lucky to have what I have. And so I got in touch with Young Focus. It's an educational-based NGO in Tondo because I wanted to get an understanding what it is really like on ground. Like, what is the situation like there? And once we've kind of established what was happening, and it was true that all of these people being cut off from their work, their main concern was putting food on the table for their families. And of course, we want to encourage them to stay home, but how will you do that if they really need to go out and find ways to provide? So we started the No Work, No Rice initiative. At first, it was just utilizing my platforms as well as Young Focus's connections to be able to call for fundraising. And I'm really proud to say that within the 3-month span of the initiative that was carried out, we raised over 5 million pesos and were able to distribute over 100,000 kilograms of rice to thousands of families every 10 days. So it was an ongoing initiative and a sustainable one because we really wanted to support the community, and that's just how it kind of fell together. The greatest challenges involved in putting together this initiative was one that I couldn't actually go physically there, because that is my greatest impulse now, to really go there and be hands-on and to really go and understand the plight of the community face to face. But of course, following health guidelines, we were all staying at home, and so it was kind of a weird feeling trying to orchestrate and put together this whole thing and not actually be talking to anyone face to face. The second was overcoming a lot of limitations that I guess I put on my own mind because the problem just seemed so big and I could only address a certain community. It just gave me this feeling of helplessness because yes, I would be helping Young Focus's main like student family community, but what about everyone else? If we could just help 100 people or even 50 people, like that's already a difference and that already contributes something. And lastly, we were very unsure of how much people would give since it was such a trying season. A lot of people have lost employment or being cut off from work, and so we were really afraid that maybe no one really had anything to give. That's why I was so taken aback and so overwhelmed by the generosity that came pouring in. And it wasn't even just from the Philippines, it was from other countries around the world. The Philippines, we're facing this as a community, but also like other countries, the people in other countries are aware of that and they're willing to help us. So that was really wonderful. I was able to have a Zoom call with all of the volunteers because of course the packing of the rice and the food are done by volunteers at Young Focus within their centers that are usually used for schooling. They used it now to store and distribute the food. So since I wasn't able to go there, I would do Zoom calls with them and really just share my gratitude to them because they put themselves out there almost in the essence of like a frontliner, and they did it as volunteers. There is no monetary gain for them in doing that, but they just did it for their sense of duty, their sense of service for the community. Yeah, I've always integrated volunteerism and contributing back to the community in my life for the last 4 years. But I suppose my shift of perspective really happened in that I would always have a comfort zone. It's usually like, oh, when I'm doing well and I have extra to give, you know, it's just that mindset that I feel like not even me, but a lot of people put on themselves. We give when it's comfortable. But in this season, it was really, really challenging because I myself had experience a stagnant state then in my work and in the projects that were able to happen. But I challenged myself to give even though I had nothing really coming in. And that's something I want to share to other people. And it's very challenging to put yourself in a mindset of giving when you don't have anything coming in, but it's such a fulfilling one, because I feel like the universe, or if you believe in God like I do, I feel like once you give, the universe or God will refill your cup so that you can give more. And that's really what I feel I experienced during this season. It's definitely a challenge because I'm one of those people, I really like to be aware of what's going on in the world and also in our country, and at many times it gets quite overwhelming and that sense of hopelessness starts to creep in, especially that I'm secluded at home, and it's a different feeling only being able to either talk through social media or talk through video. But the way that I keep hopeful is I always try and magnify the good things that are happening. So if there's good news of recovery, news of stories of inspiration, of overcoming, of bayanihan, or of giving, I try and really emphasize those points to myself. And it is something that I have to choose to do and put effort towards, because there's this thing, it's like in a sea of 100 good things, it only takes 2 or 3 bad things to pull your focus to. So it's always an ongoing journey every single day to try and magnify the good. Amidst the pandemic that we're facing, I would really love to see a renewed focus on supporting local, because it's something as simple as that, because we're the consumer and where we put our money allows us to either build up our nation or to send it outside of our nation. Sana nga that we really focus all of our funds and efforts towards Filipino business owners, Filipino products, uplifting our own community, because that's what our fellow kababayans need. After being hit by the pandemic, after being hit by financial strain and business closure and all these limitations, if we can just buy from local farmers and growers or support small businesses in any way that we can, I think that we'll be able to put our funds back into our nation and be able to lift up our fellow countrymen, and I really believe that's what we'll need. My advice for anyone who's looking to give back to the community or to help any relief efforts for COVID-19, look towards your community. It doesn't need to be far from home. Look towards your neighborhood or your nearby hospitals or any charity group or non-government organization group in your area. It doesn't need to be big. It can be something as small as helping your elderly neighbors have access to groceries if they might not be able to go out and do it themselves. Once you do find that cause, I really implore you to share it with your friends and family and to get them involved. Because if you would just imagine that each and every one of us would do something small to give back to our frontliners or to our community, imagine the impact we could all make together. Yes, I have an upcoming initiative again with Young Focus. This time we're fundraising for the Quality Education for All initiative. Most education for children going onto online platforms. A lot of Filipino children are left behind because a lot of them don't have access to internet or to a gadget or tablet that is able to really support their online learning. So what we're doing, we're fundraising with a goal of 1 million pesos to be able to provide 2 locational computer rooms fitted with social distancing stations, hand washing and sanitizing stations, to provide a safe learning environment for the community of children in Tondo. Please keep an eye out for that. We'll be fundraising for that very soon. But if you would like more information, you could visit www.youngfocus.org/education. I also have an upcoming project with the Red Cross Philippines. the Philippine Red Cross rather, we're going to be doing a testing campaign to signify the importance of getting tested and really showing the community that it's not something to be feared. We shouldn't hold ourselves back from the stigma surrounding COVID, and that we should really empower ourselves and to take steps where we can ensure the safety of ourselves and also of others.